Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's David. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars concept series, Star Destroyer. Now this vessel was first seen in a concept model made by Colin Cantwell, and we've seen a lot of his work on my channel recently with the concept series. And I have to say, out of all the models thus far, this one here is my favorite. Lots of little weapons on there, a wedge, and then on top, it looks like you took the top off a battleship or destroyer and stuck it right on there. The superstructure is awesome, and I can't wait to dive into this review. So for the size of this vessel, it is a little over 3.5 inches, which is amazing. So everybody knows the drill by now. We're going to take a look at the mold, the paint, check out the stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. And now let's get this review started looking at the mold. Now, the concept Star Destroyer doesn't really have a real diagram labeling everything since it wasn't technically made in the film. However, it does have some nice things going for it. So just like in all my reviews, we'll go over the major sections of the vehicle, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see all those fine details. So up first, we have the main shape, which is a wedge, very similar to the Star Destroyer we know and love. We'll begin with the bottom. We have 3 rivets, connector port for the stand, copyright crap. Now right here is pretty cool. Looks to be a turret. And then there's turrets on the sides and in the front, which is awesome. We have our trench going down the sides, just like the Star Destroyer we know. Pretty cool. And you might be wondering, what are these things? To be honest with you, I think they're just landing gear to hold it up. But I may be wrong. Regardless, they're kind of cool and they work. When you put this down, the gun turret right here does not bend up. So, nice job with that. Now, on the back of the vessel, we have a total of 11 engines. All looking good, wish they were painted, but what are you going to do? Some nice detailing on the sides as well. Then we have my favorite part, the Superstructure, which has some turrets on the sides, tons of modules, and it looks just like the superstructure of a battleship or a destroyer. Very nicely done. I think that came out great. Lots of little nooks and crannies. Amazing stuff. So that's basically all the major parts of this vessel. So now let's get a closer look. Alright, having our closer look, in the front we can see that cannon. I guess it could be an antenna, but it looks like a cannon, so I'm going to stick with that. Coming down the main body underneath, we have our rivet. Raised sections. Right here we have our underbelly cannon. Looking good. Copyright crap, connector port for the stand, 2 more rivets, 2 more razors. And the rest is pretty flat. Really nothing to write home about. But on the sides, we do have our trench like we're used to seeing on Star Destroyers. Looking amazing. Pretty cool. Coming up here, again, the trench. Looking great. Lots of little details in here, all recessed. Very nice. Now right here, we have our cannon or antenna. Looking nice. I love the mold in here. Then turning the ship around. We have another cannon or antenna. Looking good. Now for the top of the vessel, we have these little raised hoops. And I like that. Like little portholes. Raised section right here. You can see there's a little black felt or something. I don't know where that came from, since everything's white now. But regardless, they look great. I love all these little sections. Now the blue right here is all raised up, and that is awesome. Same goes for this side. We have our little portholes, if we want to call them that. And then the raised sections with the blue stripes. Very nice. So before we get to the superstructure, let's check out the engine section, which is pretty cool. Some nice molding. Everything's recessed here. And then we have our 11 engines. Looking good. I would have liked a little paint in these, but for being based off the concept model, it's not bad at all. And I think they did a decent job. So now let's check out the superstructure. Now, having a better look at that superstructure, I did want to point out this little piece here with the red paint. It is raised up, and there is a gap between the wedge and the superstructure. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I'm going to be honest, I kind of dig it. Pretty awesome. Now looking at the superstructure, you can see there are tons of layers here, very similar to a battleship made today. Really nice, even though I think today everything is turning into angles instead of being like World War II. But despite that, this is pretty awesome. I do like this quite a bit. So let's start in the front. Nice molding, little doodads here and there. Different decks going up. Looks like a turret right in the front with the red paint. Nice details right here. Amazing stuff. Nothing is flat. Everything is coming out or going in. Beautiful job. Coming to the back section. Some nice molding here. And then a giant turret with a barrel painted silver. Magnificent. Coming up. The detail continues. Amazing stuff. Wrapping the ship around to the other side. We can see some detailing in the front. Beautifully done. Damn, this is nice. Now, if there was a black wash on here, all this detail would pop better. But it is what it is. Again, we have our turret. Some nice detailing. I love this section here. A little recess line. Beautiful. Right at the top here. Nicely done. And then, I love this section. Nicely detailed. Little piece right there. That's sharp. And then we have this piece up here. A beautiful job. Look at all that. That is pretty awesome. I love this thing a lot. And then on the back, we have a little recess. And then right here, more detailing. Fantastic stuff. And real quick, let's get a look at the top of the vessel. You can see some nice detailing here. Raised sections, beautifully done. I really do enjoy this quite a bit. And that's everything for the mold. I hope I covered everything. So now let's take a look at the paint. I'm now looking at that paint on the Concept Star Destroyer. It only has 4 different colors, but it's not too bad. The main color is a nice off-white, looking really good. They did try to match the paint to the plastic pieces, so I'll give them credit for that. Nicely done. We can see everything is painted. Even the engine section and the superstructure. Pretty cool. Now also, we have some red and blue. And that's not all. We do have a little silver for the gun barrels right here, or the turrets, if you will. All in all, a nicely painted ship, which is actually very accurate to the concept model. And just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool stand. This one says Star Wars. Very nice. Just peg it in the port like so. Hear that click. And you're good to go. And now for a little size comparison with the Concept Series Star Destroyer seen in the center. On the left-hand side, we have the Imperial Arrestor Cruiser, which its main sequence was cut from Solo: A Star Wars Story, which kind of sucks. But it did have a tiny cameo in a commercial for the Empire in the film, if you have an eagle eye. The cool thing about this vessel is it was also a concept ship made by Colin Cantwell. And on the right-hand side, we have the original trilogy's The Imperial Star Destroyer. Some nice-looking ships here. And for a bonus size comparison, here we have all 5 of the Concept Series ships together. The TIE Fighter, X-Wing, Star Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon, and the Land Speeder. You know, I know these ships aren't everybody's cup of tea, but for me, you know, they're a piece of Star Wars history. An image of what may or could have been. And for that, I think they're well worth the money, and plus they look kind of cool. Now, if you would like to see reviews of any of the vessels I showed today, look in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Concept Series Star Destroyer. I'm not gonna lie, I like this ship very, very much. To me, the mold is pretty good, accurate to the source material. With paint, there's only 4 different colors, but I think they all work well together, and it does match the actual model itself. And also, you get that cool stand that unifies it with the rest of the collection. So that's everything I have to say about the Star Destroyer today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.